Shit. I don't know if you guys watch this guy or not, but you should follow this guy. So anyways, figured I'd give a little update to my new add-ons you can see over here. Hopefully I'm gonna get back into making some videos here soon. Yeah, so anyways. Get this out of the way some. So my recent additions to this 72-inch chest that I bought was this 42-inch US General Series 3. And then today we just installed this top box, which was, for lack of a better word, a pain in the, yeah, it's heavy. A lot heavier than I anticipated. So anyways, so if anybody is up on the Harbor Freight boxes, these US Generals, you probably have already seen that they're kind of modular. You can bolt them together, kind of like how I did with these two boxes on the bottom. The downside is the 72-inch and I think the 56-inch are the same height, but when you get to the smaller boxes, they have smaller casters, and you run into the issue where they'll be at the different height, which is why you see that spacer right there and right there. So, there's a company that sells essentially like a flat steel plate and then a piece of square tubing and then a flat steel plate used as a spacer. I tossed around the idea of milling some spacers, which these are milled out of Delrin. I had somebody do these for me, but I tossed around the idea of possibly milling out some out of aluminum on my mill if there's enough, I guess, request for them. I'm not going to start doing them one-off probably unless it was a decent pay, but the spacers you can buy already are like $40 a piece roughly. If you wanted to, you could technically buy these casters, the bigger casters. I don't think the bolt pattern's the same, so I don't know what you're going to do there to make them fit up, but you could technically put the bigger casters on. But along with the spacer, obviously you'd need longer bolts as well to accommodate, but I think it's a 2-inch. I think it's a 2-inch spacer you have to have for these. But anyways, that's what I had to do to make it happen. So 72-inch box, 42-inch box, 72-inch top box. I decided on drawers over the whatever hutch because I don't need 72 inches of hutch. If I had the room and the height, I got the shelf that's kind of in the way, but if I had the room for it and the price was right, I would have gone with a 56-inch side box. And then I wouldn't have had to do the spacers, and then I would have done the hutch on that because I wouldn't mind having a computer out here for looking up, the Chris Fix videos whenever I do mechanical work. No, but if I ever need to Google something or look up a YouTube video, it's nice to be able to have a computer out here instead of having to go in the house and pull it up. I wouldn't mind leaving a laptop out if I could put it in a hutch, which I might actually do in the top of this, is just store a laptop up here. So, spoiler alert, something I learned, you cannot butt the box up against the wall because you can't open this freaking thing. I don't know if you can see this, but it's hitting. I don't know if you can make it out, but it wants to push the box out. So I am going to have to jack this after I just got these boxes leveled and set up right. I'm gonna have to jack them up and pull them out just a hair so that top opens without binding. But let's show off my box a little bit. I'm using tool grid for my drawers. So this is a full gear wrench set. I have 6-point and 12-point, short and deep, full chrome SAE standard and metric set, as well as impact set. This whole drawer is 3/4 inch over here and then 1/2 inch drive over here. So same thing, tall, short, 6-point and 12-point chromes. I do only have 6-point impacts other than the few oddballs that aren't gear wrench. And then some gear wrench extensions, some random pieces, parts, a few ratchets, T-handle, which is what that is. Craftsman wrench here, or ratchet here. A couple of these, it's a big gear wrench ratchet, same here. I got a little SK stubby. But I'm adding on. I'm still gonna buy some more ratchets. What I'm probably gonna end up doing is taking these ratchets out of here and extensions and moving them to this drawer. All of this was purchased tool grid, and then I realized you can 3D print tool grid and can make some cool colors. I mean, they sell different colors too, but these are all 3D printed, and I have a 3D printer, so this saves a lot of money, especially the backing board. These boards are probably where tool grid makes a big part of their money. The little socket pieces and whatnot, they're not a bad idea to buy, but I will probably use the few foam inserts like this Aries ratchet set, and I will foam insert on the side where I had to super glue the pieces together because I had to cut them and they didn't snap together properly because I might have messed up on a 3D print, but we'll talk about that later. Anyways, I'll probably use this top drawer for all my ratchets, breaker bars, extensions, adapters, etc. I did remove the little side locks. I would show you what they're like, but I've already taken all of them out of every single drawer. But I don't really care for them. I did it first, and then afterwards they started getting annoying. And then my far left drawer is all my 1/4" stuff. So I'll probably be moving or relocating my Allen stuff because not all of these are 1/4". They are 3/8. So I'll probably end up moving these to where the ratchets are in here. All the specialty sockets like the star, Allen head, etc. I'll move over, and I'll keep just the 1/4" stuff here. I may leave the 1/4" ratchets in here. It just depends what the room looks like. And then my other drawers I haven't organized yet, but I just have various lug nut keys. These are Allen's, and I don't even remember what these are called. They're like they have torque sockets there. That's metric Allen's, standard Allen's, lug nut sockets. These were, I think these are like the Torx Plus bits. I don't know if you've ever seen them, but if you ever come across them, yeah, TP, Torx Plus. If you try to use a Torx, you will strip the damn thing out. Torx Plus is, I guess, some genius's idea to make more money. It's essentially like the impact version of a Torx. I got some long handle wrenches here. I'm probably gonna keep my wrench board up there. I don't know if you can see that. There we go. I like my wrench board set out. It's convenient, it's handy. And then any specialty, there we go. Any specialty wrenches I'll keep in here. Like these are my slim lines. They come in handy for various things. And then my long reach I'll keep in here. I haven't sorted like any of these other drawers. They're just kind of thrown in. It's like a timing belt wrench. It's sanding blocks, disconnect pliers. Actually, these are offset wrenches. I lied. So offset wrenches, slim wrenches, punch set. It's scattered. I haven't done anything with this top box. We literally set it on today. We pulled all the drawers out of it, thinking it would be light and load enough for me and my dad to lift it and put it on here. We were wrong. We ended up having to grab the engine hoist and those straps right there and hoist this side up while me and my buddy lifted that side and placed it. And we still managed to scratch my paint. Sucked, but it will. No biggie. It's a toolbox. It's going to get abused. This box, same thing. I mean, you saw the tool grid on the top of it. I've done nothing with organization. More tool grid print that I haven't done anything with. These top bins, I've started 3D printing bins to go inside of the drawers, and it's just got junk thrown in it right now. But eventually, I'm gonna print more of these. They're not sized right. I just have them tossed in there, but I'll print some to where they fill the gap where they don't slide around. But all of these, I'm gonna probably end up sandblasting these because they're rusty. But I'll clean them up, probably repaint them. All of these bins are more than likely gonna be my nuts and bolts. I will put all my various length nuts, bolts, etc. You see some of the top has got some shit in it already, but all that'll be nuts, bolts, washers, etc. And then these orange drawers down there might get moved and put on top of this because they also have a bunch of my stainless hardware. And then don't yell at me, but I fell victim to the Temu temptation and ordered a bunch of what appears to be grade 8. I'd be real surprised if they actually are. They're probably like grade 5 with a gold zinc wannabe coating. But always need various random bolts for just whatever. So I ordered a couple little sets of small bolts and stuff from there for little to nothing. And then, like you see these set out, these were used for these stands that we tried to use to set the toolbox. But I have various bolts like that in containers like this treat bowl and scattered all over the place. Like they're down there, they're up there, they're back there underneath that stuff down there. They're all over the place. Yeah, I need to get organized. So I'm hoping that this will be my primary tool chest, minus the top drawer, maybe the top 2 drawers for tools. The lower drawers, majority, or maybe at least the slim ones at the top, and then these, and I might add on to that if I can find another one of these, because I could technically fit a second one on top. If I can find one just like it, that'd be amazing. But that area will be my hardware, because I don't like making runs to the hardware store for various nuts, bolts, washers, etc. that I need. When I need them, I would much rather have a collection to be able to just pop it open and go. But that is the new shop update. I still have to get a weld fab table built. That'll go right there. I don't know where that bender will go. I contemplated it going right here. And then this motor hoist might go to my dad's shop, or maybe right there in front of that window. I don't know. But that welding cart I won't need once I build my fab table, because it'll be on big casters. Like, well, you can see those, like kind of like those right there, like the leveling casters. They'll probably be on something like that. And then my welding machines will be on like a lower shelf and faced forward, so I can get to the knobs and adjustments and settings on the machine. And then the fab table will just be a big flat, preferably like 3/4 to 1 inch aluminum plates with, 1/2 inch or 3/4 holes for clamps and tools to mount up. But that'll take up from like here to there. I want to say I measured it out to start at like a 4 foot wide by 2 foot deep table. And you can add on to it the way that I'm going to design it. I can extend it and make it bigger later if I want to. But I'm going to start with that, because I don't do a ton of welding, but I'd love to have a fab table so I can actually jig up stuff. But I had to move. You see all my spray cans that were in the shelving there, because I knew that top box was going there. So I shimmied them back here. Got the lathe, got the mill, another Temu purchase. I know, I'm guilty. But from what I've seen, from what I can tell from the few things I got from Temu, along with Temu, was these magnetic mats that like Harbor Freight sells. But Harbor Freight wants like $40 for them. These were 15, 20 bucks from Temu, and they appear to be the same thing roughly. I think they will hold pretty much the exact same amount. They're about the same size. I didn't know I ordered 2 of them. That was a mistake. I did only mean to buy 1, but regardless, from what I can tell, the Temu order stuff is essentially the same as the China stuff you get off Amazon, so it's not that big a deal. Most of the stuff didn't even ship from China. It shipped from the States, and I had it in like under a week. Those picks and that little, I think this is another Allen head socket set that I bought. Yeah, that. So both of those, I think those are both Temu purchases. Might have been Amazon. I don't even remember. But anyways, that's where I'm at. I got a lot of tool organizing to do. A lot. And nut bolt stuff organizing. I got a lot to do. But soon to be, I'm probably not going to finish that before I start on this. I got someone I met from YouTube, go figure, that lives fairly close to me, that is going to trade me for the sniper. I will actually be pulling that off soon, because I've been putting it off, and he's been very patient waiting for me, because I've been busy with stuff and had things going on and needed my car. But I'm going to pull that off for him probably tomorrow, hopefully, and swap him. He's got just a base 650 sniper. I'm going to trade, and I'm going to start pulling stuff off this car and pulling the motor, because the new motor's ready. Got the new transmission already. I think I've got everything shy of a second turbo to match the one that I have already, and some like little odds and ends. I have the ECU. I don't know if I did a video on it or not, but I bought a Haltech Nexus R3 I have, where are they at? Yeah, right there. I have the plugs and some electronics there. I have my mil-spec crimp tool there. I will be doing a mil-spec harness for this thing. I'll be, there it is. I'll be taking that tubing there and using that bender there and making a roll cage. I have a lot of work cut out for me. So that is stuff in the works. Oh, puppy. Puppy's ready to help me. She's waiting patiently to go back inside. But I'll be busy soon, real busy. We just got done rewiring the Bronco, and I've yet to do the video on that. I meant to during it, and just seemed like every time I went over to my dad's shop, we just jumped on doing work instead of me doing a video to show it off and show what we're doing to it. I also have a little service cart that I want to do a video on, just a little review. I'll probably end up doing a US General toolbox review later once I've had it and got it organized a little bit. I hadn't done much with it other than that top socket drawer, really. So once I get my tools organized somewhat, I'll probably do a review video on it. But this video is mainly just to touch base and show where I'm at and what's gotten done, what little bit's gotten done. So, like I said, stay tuned. Watch for the 408 to be going in this thing with twinsies. I had planned to do a video because I did take this to a dyno to see what it makes. It was somewhat disappointing. And I had a feeling it would be, to be honest. But I was going to do a video for that, and I guess I'm probably not. But spoiler alert, it made roughly 350 horse and about 420 foot-pounds of torque to the wheels. I think it was, I don't know if it was a dyno jet or Mustang dyno, something like that. But anyways, the guy running the dyno told me that, I mean, I'm only pushing 6 pounds of boost to this thing anyways, but he said my turbo is definitely crippling me. It's a baby turbo on this thing. It's 100% choking the airflow down. But like I said, I mainly just wanted a baseline before I pulled this motor to see what a before was versus an after. So I'm hoping the new motor can make 800 no problem. I think the block won't hold much more than that. But anyways, thanks for watching. I made this video longer than it should have, but oh, it's so sexy. I do love it. Can't wait. Thanks for watching, guys.